While the Major League Baseball trade deadline was packed with action, the Dodgers remained calm, cool, and collected. And quite frankly, made some smart decisions. My name's Ryan Bershinger. He is Beau Benson. This is the Sick Podcast, The Dodger Zone. Let's get into it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Dodger Zone.
Cortez delivers. Freeman hits the ball to right field. She is gone! Gibby, meet Freddie. Game 1 of the World Series.
The sickest LA Dodgers podcast.
Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
It's gonna be sick.
So should we start with the biggest positive from the trade deadline? Because that highlight just jogged
in the wind. Dustin May is dust in the wind.
we're gonna talk about Dustin May first, but that highlight did just remind me that the best part about the trade deadline is that Nestor Cortez is now in the NL West.
I know. That's fire. There's so much about the trade deadline that's so funny, but I think personally I was 100% spot on.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Preller is just Jerry Jones in baseball.
Yes.
Like he just wants to see his name in the headlines. It was so funny. They made the trade for, I think, Mason Miller. Mm-hmm. And every writer at the same time dropped their like, should we rename the deadline to AJ Preller Day? Because he is wheeling and dealing. And it's like, we have sung the praises of the Padres on this show and our show many times, but like at some point you got to win something when you're doing this many deals, bud. And you could throw together an all-star roster with just the guys that he's traded away for deals, in deals, as we've mentioned before. So yeah, even Padres fans were furious with the Mason Miller trade.
Yeah.
So congrats, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we should call it AJ Preller Day, I guess. I don't know.
It truly is. I don't want to start with the Padres because when Mason Miller arrived in the Padres dugout, they started with the Dodgers, and I don't want to do that thing.
I know.
But honestly though, like they should. I get it. Like if you show up as a new member of the Padres, and everyone's like, hey, by the way, we hate the Dodgers. We're chasing after
that's
them.
Fine. No worries.
Correct. I understand that. I'm not going to clown them for that because they should hate us.
We do kind of have to open with talking about the Padres because if it wasn't for them, like that would have been a big old dud of a deadline day, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
well,
shout out to AJ Preller for making things marginally exciting.
Truly, maybe AJ Preller is Michael Bay in my comparison here because this might feel like a hot take, and I'm trying to I'm working through it a bit, but I do genuinely believe this. After looking at everything that happened with the trade deadline, I truly believe that trade deadline day was a Michael Bay film because there was a lot of action. There was a lot of flash. Things were going on left and right, but when you actually slow things down and look at the scope of what happened, very few moments of actual consequence.
Yeah,
there were, and I don't want to listen. Mason Miller going to the Padres is a big deal. Yohan Duran going to the Phillies, that's a big deal. Eugenio Suarez going back to Seattle, that's a big deal. Even the Mets getting Ryan Helsley, I think is a big deal. The Yankees getting David Bednar, which we're going to also mention later on. As we talked about, the relief pitching market was going to be very active, and it was. But that's also where all the action was, because if you go past the top pitchers, really Suarez is the only bat of consequence that moved. Yes, Carlos Correa goes back to Houston, but it's not the same Carlos Correa that was in Houston. Yeah, it truly is just like, it's a salary dump. The Twins don't want to have anyone left on their roster.
The Twins traded their roster.
They're like, here, the fans like Byron Buxton, so we're going to keep him around.
Yeah.
But that's it. Even Fox Sports tried to trade Joe Ryan to the Red Sox at one point, and that wasn't real. So unfortunately for Joe, he's still there. But beyond that, yeah, every member of the Twins is gone.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing with deadline day is there were a ton of moves. And I think because of just how many moves happened, it made it feel like the Dodgers were not doing enough. And there's an argument to be made that they didn't. But I do think that the moves they made were actually rather smart and calculated. And that's typically what we see from Andrew Friedman in the years where there's not a Manny Machado or a Yu Darvish or a Max Scherzer, Trey Turner.
Glaring need, yeah.
Yeah.
Like if Max Muncy actually had his leg explode, they probably would have tried to get Carlos Correa, or they probably would have tried to get what's his name that they're playing tonight? Oh my God, why is it
Nolan Arenado?
Yeah, there you go, Nolan Arenado. They probably would have tried to do that, but they didn't need to because apparently Max Muncy has the healing powers of God. So
yeah, because he's fine. All good. No worries. I'm going to the game on Tuesday night, and I was at the game, the 3,000 strikeout game, which is, of course, also the game that Max Muncy's leg fell off. But it's hilarious that the next game that I'm going to, he's already back in the lineup.
Side note, can you slide me one of those jerseys from tomorrow or what?
Oh, that's not it's Hello Kitty night, Beau. It's not a that's
maybe that's next week.
Yeah.
Salvadoran Heritage Night is coming up. I'm part Salvadoran. Yeah.
So. So if you want a bag,
Godspeed. Good luck getting in and out of there.
That's yeah. No, it's a stadium bag, and limited qualities, limited quantities. Actually, high quality stuff, but limited quantities. So I'm going to have to just push children out of the way.
Oh my God! Did Miguel Rojas just go yard? No, he did not.
Okay,
he didn't. Sorry, spoiler.
But looking at the Dodger side of the deadline, because yes, as a whole, the relief pitching market was super active. And everything beyond that was really a lot of nothing. There were some decent role players that were moved offensively, but if we're freaking out because Mike Yastrzemski got traded, Harrison Bader got traded, and the starting pitching market, it's, here's Charlie Morton, 41 years old. He had a couple decent starts recently.
Yeah, I saw Cubs fans getting mad at the Cubs for not getting a starter, and it's like, well, who? Mm-hmm. It's not like other years where there's guys available. This is always the result of this extra wild card spot. Is you're not going to have talent available on the trade market. You're just not.
Yeah, and this leads us perfectly into first. Let's talk about Dustin May getting traded because I think you're bringing up a very important point as to why it happened. I think half the reason why they did move May was because the starting pitching market was so thin. Merrill Kelly was maybe the best starter traded?
Probably.
It's Zach Littell. It was
a lot. Who got Merrill Kelly?
Oh, geez.
Somebody.
Again, so many moves. I can't remember. Was it the Rangers? It might have been the Rangers.
That sounds right. Yeah, he's a Ranger.
Okay.
That's funny.
Good job, Ryan. So Dustin May gets traded, and he is in a contract season. And according to some reports, apparently he listened to our last episode and didn't like our idea, which was moving him to the bullpen. Apparently he was not super enthused about the idea of going to the bullpen, which quite frankly, understandable. If you're about to hit free agency, you want to hit free agency as a starter. I know I tried to make the argument of hey, hit free agency as a back-end reliever. No, that's not where the money is. If you're an okay starter, you can still get good money. So he wanted to stay in a situation where he would still be a starting pitcher. And of course, the Dodgers were very fortunate to have Blake Snell come back. Tyler Glasnow has looked very good since returning from injury. Shohei Ohtani only cramped, so he's okay.
Yeah.
I thought I cursed him.
Yeah.
And so we dodged that one. It was just close. A cramp. He's fine. Just get him some electrolytes and he's all good. Kershaw has been serviceable, and which is all you can really ask for. That's great. And of course, Yoshinobu Yamamoto continues to be fantastic. So because of all of these starters, and you still have the likes of Emmett Sheehan and
Sasaki will be back.
Roki Sasaki's throwing. Even like the bullpen even has stuff on the horizon. Like Tanner Scott is throwing again.
Yeah.
Justin Wrobleski got a 3-inning save the other day. God bless him. We love to see that. That's my dream. Get the starter 6 innings, get another guy 3 innings. Boom, call it a day. But no, Dustin May was not crazy about the idea of moving to the bullpen. And so because of the fact that the starting pitching market was so poor, the Dodgers were able to actually dangle Dustin May out there and say, hey, if we get ourselves a decent prospect, why not? He's in his contract season. Like, he gets to be a starting pitcher for the rest of the year. We get a nice prospect out of it. And there's always the possibility that the Dodgers are just like, hey, why not? If they bring him back when he hits free agency in some capacity. That could easily happen still. So the prospect they do get, they got 2 prospects, but the important one is James Tibbs III. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because he was part of the deal that sent Rafael Devers to the Giants. But James Tibbs III was the Giants' first-round pick last season.
Yeah.
And that is hilarious. That is, for that to end up happening is really funny. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
That's great. And Tibbs profiles as could be a pretty dang solid corner outfielder in the future. I mean, he was a first-round pick for a reason.
Yeah.
16th overall. It's wonderful. So I love this deal.
To get that for someone who legit was a DFA candidate if they didn't trade him, that's just phenomenal. That's phenomenal work, no matter what she's.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I really think it is a result of the poor starting pitcher trade market. Especially because if starters were moving, like, I don't know if you really get anything close to that sort of return for Dustin May. So Andrew Friedman and company saw an opportunity where it's about taking advantage of the market, taking advantage of their position, and they did that. They got themselves another nice outfield prospect, which you can't have too much of. So, and just the fact that, the Giants' first-round pick last year. I know at the time of the Devers trade, I was highly critical of the Red Sox return, and still, quite frankly, I will say there's a big difference between a half season of Dustin May and 8 years of your franchise cornerstone. So that's still a bad trade in my view for the Red Sox, especially bad now because Tibbs may have been the best prospect. It
might go down as a lose-lose trade because it's not like Devers has been good since he went to the Giants either, which is like could have told you that. Like until they adjust their ballpark, you're just not going to get a good hitter in that stadium. You're just not. It's way too pitcher friendly.
Oh, unless they go down to Balco, then they're typically fine. But
that's true.
I don't think they're open anymore. That's great trade for the Dodgers, and nothing against Dustin May. We wish Dustin May nothing but the best. I mean, the guy almost died. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he went through a lot the last few years and he gets to come out of it as a world champion. He pitched in crucial moments in that 2020 run. He was an important, versatile piece of that pitching staff in the 2020 run. So, we wish him nothing but the best. And if he ends up back in LA next year as a free agent, we will welcome him back.
Cool, dude.
Gladly.
Cool, dude.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
So speaking of coming back to LA, look at that transition. Wow. The Dodgers did make a move for the bullpen, and that was acquiring Brock Stewart. Now, if you are somebody who only remembers Brock Stewart as a Dodger and hasn't seen any of his work since his time with the Dodgers, you're probably like, what the hell are they doing? Like, how is Brock Stewart still in the majors? What's going on here? So I'll give you an update. Brock Stewart has revitalized his career as a relief pitcher, which happens a lot. And there's a lot of different guys that the Dodgers have had through the past few years that are starting pitcher reclamation projects that turned into pretty solid bullpen pieces. The last couple of years with the Twins, Brock Stewart's been incredibly effective. He battled an injury last year, so his numbers weren't as great, but his numbers this year are close to his 2023 numbers, where he was pretty dang elite out of the pen. What Brock does is he's able to generate a lot of swing and misses, a lot of soft contact, which is all stuff that you want out of a reliever. He's using his fastball a little over half the time, and it's been very effective. He's got a slider or sweeper, depending on the website you look at. It's classified as either a slider or a sweeper. That's been pretty close to elite. The stuff plus on that pitch has been very high. Stuff plus is a highfalutin statistic that just says that whether or not a pitch is good. The stuff plus
I feel like I'm back in class. I've been taking notes.
Also, his changeup has been very effective as well, getting a lot of swing and miss on his changeup. Overall, I look at Brock Stewart's makeup, and it kind of reminds me of what we've seen from Evan Phillips for the last few years. And they could easily do with Brock what they've done with Phillips, which is they recognized that his slider, sweeper, what have you, is very effective, and they just say, hey, throw that more.
Yeah.
Which feels like a very simple concept, but a lot of teams don't do that, I guess. The Dodgers are very good at telling guys to throw their best pitches more, especially when it's a slider like that. So,
well, that's why we need a salary cap in baseball, you know?
Got to be able to afford guys who can tell guys to throw that good pitch more. How about that? So yeah, I think this is actually an excellent addition. We've seen Brock already in action. It got the job done very well.
Like the comparison was going around between him and Mason Miller, and you can argue that Brock Stewart's probably the better pitcher right now than Mason Miller has been. The Dodgers getting him for literally just James Outman is insane.
And again, fond farewell to James Outman. This is another guy who
I always wanted him to work out. Yeah. Yes. Like he might just be a quad A player, but that's fine. You can be a quad A player in Minnesota and have a great career. No problem with that at all.
This is actually a very good opportunity for him because he should be able to now play every day for the rest of the season. And he could do what Zach McKinstry ended up doing, where like he found himself in everyday roles and then on a team that was rebuilding and then starting to compete. And soon enough, he was an all-star. So Outman's got the opportunity to do the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
So thank you, James, world champion. Will be acknowledged as such. Brock, let's get you a championship ring. I don't think he was around in 2020 anymore, right? I don't think he was.
No, I think he was gone.
Well, we owe you one then. So yes, that's a strong addition to the back end of the bullpen. Again, it is not a move that has the same sort of flash as even a Ryan Helsley.
Traded him in 2019.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
It's tough.
But yeah, when you dive into his numbers and you look at his stuff, you see that this is a guy who's close to being on the level of the most productive guys in terms of the relief pitching market. Sure, you're not getting like the years of control and the insane velocity of a Mason Miller or Yohan Duran, but you are also only paying James Outman.
Yeah, and they also do have years of control. I think they have like 2 years of control on him still.
Yes, yeah.
Like, which is hilarious for a guy that's been up since like 2017 or something like that.
I know. That's the system is so weird where like Dustin May is about to hit free agency while Brock Stewart still has multiple years of arbitration. Like that doesn't feel right. Isn't Brock Stewart like a good 18 years older? But anyway, it does feel odd. So those are kind of I'd say the two biggest moves. Let's look at some of the couple other moves that they made in terms of shoring up the bench and some deeper work here. First with Alex Call, who Alex Call is a made up person. That is a computer generated name.
Is there a sport that has more fake players than baseball? Like I really don't think there is.
No. It's so good. It's truly like if you're playing a franchise in the show for like 3 years and suddenly the players that the game made up in AA are like starting to get to the majors and you're like, I don't know if this person's real or not. But now I'm facing them in the 8th inning.
It is going to be very funny when the Dodgers turn this guy into like a perennial all-star, though.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Listen, there were people. So the Dodgers did make a heavy push in acquiring Steven Kwan, and apparently the Guardians were asking for too much. They were
not getting Steven Kwan when it came out. Like Dennis Lin tweeted that they were asking for the guy the Padres traded Mason Miller for, DeVries.
Yeah.
Like if that was the starting point for Kwan, then the Dodgers were never going to do that.
No. Because I don't even know what their equivalent. That's Paula and Hope.
Yeah,
and then some.
No,
that would have been insane.
Yeah,
as much as I like Steven Kwan, that's very high price, and it's good that the Dodgers didn't go to that level at the deadline. And I think it is interesting to think about, like if they did not just win the World Series, maybe they would have.
Yeah,
that. I think that's where the difference is.
Yeah. Like they have like a solid 5-year window now, like we kind of talked about, where they can kind of like they're always going to be competitive, but they do really have to start thinking about the future. I don't really know if we mentioned that, but like the Dodgers core is old. Like Mookie's probably on the downswing. Teoscar, they're going to be looking to get out of that contract, I think, before it ends. Freddie, like that's why I would not have entertained trading Rushing, just because Freddie maybe has 1 or 2 years left, really, if you think about it. Like I could see him walking away, no sweat. He's already won 2 World Series. He's got his MVP. He's everything could accomplish in his career, he's accomplished. So if Freddie wants to hang him up, that opens up a spot for Rushing right there, or that opens up a spot for Ohtani to learn how to play first base. Like any number of things could happen, but the core of this team is old. It really is.
Yeah.
Or a good chunk of this team is old. So yeah, there's no sense in trading away your young guys to fill gaps now. Just 0 cents. So did not shock me at all that they were not as active as people thought.
Yeah, and I think that is that's what we saw with them not going for Kwan and instead opting for somebody like Alex Call.
Yeah.
And people have put their baseball savants next to each other to make the case that Alex Call might be the poor man's Steven Kwan, which that's a nice thought. I don't think I'd go that far, but that's a fun thing to do. But what Alex Call does bring to the table is he's a very patient hitter, which is guys like that tend to excel in the Dodger lineup. The Dodgers hitting coaches know how to take advantage of guys who have a very strong sense of the strike zone and are very patient at the plate. His quality of contact hasn't been great, but he does hit lefties pretty well. And so it does create an interesting opportunity where now clearly they're just going to run with Michael Conforto for the rest of the season. And so this now allows you to platoon with Conforto, give some versatility in the outfield. We just saw Tommy Edman is back on the injured list. So now Call is in essence your 4th outfielder, and he's not a bad 4th outfielder by any means. Again, interesting platoon bat, can play, I believe can play everywhere in the outfield, and is very patient at the plate. And when the Dodgers lineup slumps, you need somebody who's patient at the plate. Thankfully, Max Muncy is back, as we mentioned, and so hopefully that's going to help jumpstart this offense. But Call is definitely interesting. I think he fits a specific need. He doesn't by any means, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not a game changer in essence, right? Like he's not. This doesn't like shake up the lineup, but you do need somebody who provides you a decent platoon bat off the bench that can be plugged in anywhere in the outfield. So decent, and they didn't really give up much for him, so you might as well give him a shot.
Yeah. Freeland's probably a major leaguer.
Yes, and he's already shown that in his first few games of action, which is really good to see. Alex Freeland, who is, I believe MLB.com had him as like the 35th best prospect. at the moment. He profiles at short or third. He's a switch hitter. He's been coming up through the system, and he's really gained steam the last couple of years. And he's started to show some competency with the bat, which is awesome. It'll be interesting to see what position he falls into more so. I don't know enough about his defensive ability. I don't know if he's really profiles as a long-term shortstop.
Yeah.
But he's a switch hitting left side of the infield, can provide some pop, and he's already shown, like I said, his contact is definitely there. That's been a very welcome addition, especially with Kim being injured and now with Edman being injured as well. It's good that he's going to now get some extended run, because they were running into the possibility of, with Muncy coming back and whenever Kim came back, if Edman was still healthy as well, it kind of puts you in a weird spot where maybe Freeland's not going to get much time. You just send him back down anyway. So now it's nice that he can actually get some more run and get some reps in. One other trade the Dodgers did make. There was a slew of guys for a slew of guys. This was a three-team deal with the Rays, and the White Sox got involved at some point, and then so the Rays moved Zach Littell to the White Sox. Basically, what matters is the Dodgers traded Hunter Fiducia, who was their third-string catcher in essence, and kind of has been for quite some time. He gets to go to the Rays, where he's playing right away. He played against the Dodgers this weekend. So good on you, Hunter. You finally get an opportunity. He's an okay catcher with some okay pop, and there's guys like that can have a career in the majors. So I'm glad he gets the opportunity. I think the most interesting piece that they got in return was a reliever named Paul Jervis, who is 6'10".
Oh yeah, dude.
So luckily no one ever told him he should be hooping instead.
That's right.
He is now in the Dodger bullpen, and when you have that sort of height, that is an imposing force with a lot of downward action. His strikeout numbers have been elite in AAA actually this season. It hasn't fully translated to major league success just yet, but there's
Dodger pitching lab.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is how you get relievers, is you get guys and hope they blow up while they're on your team. So this is a guy who a big imposing force who can induce a lot of swing and misses. And that's a profile that you try to bring in. So
6'10". It's got to be insane staring at that. Thank you.
Beau and I were both at work today, and the Little League World Series is now on ESPN, which, you know, as I mentioned to you earlier, it is ridiculous, and I don't think it's a joke when I say this. I'm fairly certain ESPN broadcasts more Little League games than Major League games per year, which good for the kids.
It's just weird to me that there's a Little League World Series like 3 times a year. I swear to God, dude. There's one in the spring, there's one in the summer, and there's got to be one in the fall. Yeah. It feels like it's always on.
Listen, kids don't go to school anymore.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
They're just playing Little League baseball.
Well, third baseman on the one team today definitely isn't going to school. He graduated 3 years ago.
That's the thing. We caught this game, and I believe it was Maryland. It was Maryland or DC. It was they were playing each other.
Yeah, I think he was.
It might have been DC. He was on. DC. Yeah, because he was. Maryland teams just had like T-shirts. Yeah, DC had legit. This kid was
full on gear.
11 years old, 5'10", 160 pounds.
Okay.
And we bring this up because Andrew Friedman, you need to sign this kid right now. You need to get him in the system. I'm sorry. He's 11 years old.
Like
5'10".
The Dodgers could theoretically start an accredited high school and just sign kids and have them go to school through that school. They skip college and then they're already in the Dodger system. Like, what's wrong with that? It's
perfectly legal. It can be done.
Yeah, there's no one. I don't know if it's perfectly legal. I'm going to assume it is because this is America. Like, we can do whatever we want now.
Listen, Kanye started that school in Simi Valley. I don't know if it's still there. I've driven by where it supposedly is, and I don't know if it actually exists. But
doesn't LeBron have a school?
Oh, yes, yeah. LeBron has
all right.
I
So
promise school,
so-
but that's like he's I'm hoping that's different than Kanye's school. I think I don't know what the deal with Kanye's school is. It seems yeah.
Just play Fortnite all day.
I hope they're going to different schools.
The people that go to the Kanye school are all the people on Twitter that are in like Adam Schefter's replies, being like, "Oh, this is a great moment for the Raiders as they trade with the Philadelphia Eagles. Go Raiders!" That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing all day.
God. So yeah, Paul Jervis, 6'10". He
That's
was
wild.
sent down when Blake Snell got activated, but I don't think Paul even got into a game yet. But hey, his time is coming because we need him. Okay, Luis Garcia, who was literally DFA'd by the Dodgers a couple months ago, he was traded to the Angels with Andrew Chafin
because they're going for it. They're going the Angels, folks.
I bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, we were obviously so starved for trade deadline content because that trade happened on the 30th, and I saw so many people bringing it up. It was even a trending topic on Twitter, like Angels trade for a pair of veteran relievers, and I'm like, that is very kind to Andrew Chafin and Luis Garcia. Like that is, and I also realized because then everything happened after that. I'm fairly certain it is written into the latest bylaws with the union and everything. The trading does not start until Andrew Chafin is traded ahead of the deadline, because that's the only thing that makes sense.
There must always be a Jesse Chavez.
I know, because unfortunately there is no more Jesse Chavez. He is now retired. So now Andrew. Good luck, buddy.
Two things have to happen. Andrew Chafin has to get traded, and AJ Preller has to make a phone call. And that's when the beacons are lit.
Oh God. Yeah. What a weird. It was a weird deadline, and I think again because of how active everything was, it made it feel like the Dodgers were underwhelming. And
I hate to use the line, and we've used it before, but like, you know what their deadline acquisition is? It's Max Muncy. It's hopefully Mookie Betts playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Blake Snell. It's Roki Sasaki eventually. It's the bullpen guys coming back. Yeah, like that's enough. Their stars need to play like stars. We said it last year, and we'll say it until we're blue in the face every year going forward. Like, if the stars play like the guys they're paid to play like, then they're going to win the World Series every single year.
Yeah.
And if the stars don't play like that, then they're not going to win the World Series. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you get Ryan Helsley. Like, Mookie Betts cannot hit 200 for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And then you're going to win the World Series. That's not going to happen. So they're banking on their stars, and they're correct to do that. They really are.
And it's something that I know you wanted to bring up. I think David Bednar perfectly illustrates the point of what the trade deadline means.
It was everybody in that game. All of the guys in that Yankees game that blew that game were their newly acquired relievers.
Yes.
So like that's why you don't go pay premium prospects for relief pitching. Because for every Yohan Duran, who's been good with the Phillies, I believe, there are a million Jake Birds who gave up a walk-off home run tonight. There's David Bednars who have given up multiple runs since going to New York. Like Duvall gave up a run in that game. Like you don't pay the premium. And I fucking hate Anthony Banda so much. Jesus Christ.
It's so funny because David Bednar had not allowed a run for like 2.5 months. Then did give up a run in his final outing with the Pirates. Then got traded, and his first pitch with the Yankees was a home run to the Marlins. And then the Yankees go on to lose. Like, these are the sort of things where, as we mentioned off the top, like it is wild how much AJ Preller just goes wild at the deadline. And we have said it before, like the Padres are great at winning the trade deadline. Like they continue to raise the banners of winning the trade deadline. But quite frankly, you don't know what the trade deadline means until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Look at the Dodgers trade deadline last season. They traded for a guy who was injured and hadn't played all year and a starter converted reliever. And that was Tommy Edman and Michael Kopech, who were both incredibly crucial to their World Series run. Tommy Edman ends up getting NLCS MVP. Michael Kopech was pitching huge innings down the stretch and through the postseason. Like, that is how you're able to win championships, is you find the right move, not the biggest one, not the
flashy one.
No. You have to find things that work. They targeted Tommy Edman for years, and they finally got a chance to get him because he was hurt and not playing. And they took advantage of that situation. Michael Kopech profiled as a guy who would be better off in the back end of the bullpen. Michael Kopech is the exact reason why we've been banging the drum for Dustin May to be in the bullpen, because they're the same pitcher. And so luckily, Kopech should be back eventually. He keeps having to go in and off of the injured list, but that was the move that helped them win the World Series. So they could have made that move at the deadline this year. I mean, granted, it's harder to believe that like Brock Stewart would be that move, but Brock Stewart is a very strong move for this bullpen. It fills a much needed role, given the fact that Evan Phillips is out for the year, given Kopech's injury issues, given Brusdar Graterol is somewhere.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
he's at home, I guess.
He's just vibing, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think overall they had a very smart, calculated approach. And when you've won 2 rings in these last 5 years here, you deserve.
It's allowed.
Yes.
It's fine.
You're able to sit back and be like, all right, yeah, we trust you. We trust you. And we should. Like, that's because ultimately, as you said, the important things, if this team wants to win a championship again this year, it's what happened last year, which was the stars played like stars. And let's wrap up, because that is, of course, a big issue right now, as we talked about last time, and it's mentioned, but Mookie struggles continue. He's hitting 230, I think, for the season now.
Yeah.
His OPS is very low. It's among the lowest in baseball. Like, it's
not good, folks.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? What do you think how this should be?
I mean, I hope to just chalk it up to this weird illness he had at the start of the season.
Right.
I think it would be smart to, when Edman is healthy, to put Mookie on the injured list, maybe send him down to AAA and get some at bats. Maybe, I know Dave today said that he's going to hit him no lower than second in the order, and I think that is typical Dave lying to everybody, because at a certain point you can't afford to hit him second in the order. Doesn't matter who they are. Like, it's cliche, but there's nobody that's bigger than the team, right? So, like, if Mookie hitting second is detrimental to the team, then you got to move him down. That's really all it is to it. I don't think he's washed. You don't just get washed like that overnight. That doesn't make any sense. It's definitely got to be something with what the sickness was, but it looks really like he just needs to reset.
Yeah.
In some fashion, some form or fashion. I don't know where he gets that, but they need to consider it sooner rather than later, because there's not a lot of time left.
Yeah. We made jokes about it earlier in the season about how slow he is, but
he's legit slow.
It is among the slowest on the team. Like somehow Teoscar's sprint speed is higher than I thought, but it's still higher than Mookie's. Like, Max Muncy is faster. Yeah. Like, that's not right. Like, there has to be something physically wrong with him in order for that to make sense. So that's where now, of course, specifying when you say like send him down, it would be, if he's injured, he would go down.
Yeah,
on a
you
rehab
go
assignment.
get some rehab assignments
just before
yeah.
anybody comes with
a rehab assignment.
yeah, it wouldn't, because you cannot demote him, but
No.
they would have to pass him
Come
through
on.
waivers.
Not stupid.
But yeah,
well, nobody would claim Mookie at this point.
Probably not.
That's very sad to think too.
The money. But yeah, everything is pointing to there's just something physically wrong with him. Because
I mean, I personally, I think it's probably fatigue from playing shortstop. That's asking so much of his body for how many minutes he's already logged in Major League Baseball.
It's not
how many innings he's
unreasonable.
logged.
It's
crazy. I would a thing I would try maybe is Teoscar needs to go on the injured list, so let Freeland play short and put Mookie back in the outfield and see what happens. I know that's not desirable given how fucking slow he is now.
Right.
But who knows? It could just be exertion from playing shortstop all the time.
Yeah. And I get it again, his numbers during the second half of last year weren't great either.
Yeah.
And so his
postseason was good.
Go back. But yeah, he was able to perform. And I think that's where, we've already seen people like David Vassay himself is putting out the idea of giving him the Trey Turner treatment and trying the standing ovation in order to break him out of his slump. And that's admirable. That's nice. I don't know. And this is the big thing too, because at the same time, going back to what you said in terms of moving him down in the order, I think the big thing is that Mookie is aware. He knows that he's playing poorly. Yeah. And I don't think any sort of positive or negative affirmation is going to do anything to him. That's why I am fine with him continuing to stay up in the top part of the lineup. I know it is at the moment detrimental, but the most important thing is to get him going so that in the postseason he's at least semi good. And I feel like the only way to get him to that level would be to continue to run him in a spot that he's comfortable in, to not completely demoralize him. I get it. Yeah, you still got to win games, but listen, the Dodgers just had their worst month in the last 12 years. I think Dodgers Nation put out a stat where it was their second worst 30 game stretch offensively in the last 12 years. And including in the month of July, they were one of 3 teams to not score 100 runs. And one was the Pirates, and I think the Braves. I think the Braves were the other one. And despite that, they're still on the top of their division.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I think scoring is just down across the league anyway. Because guess who leads Major League Baseball in runs scored? It's the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Scoring is just down.
And
there's one team with a run differential above. There's two teams with a run differential above 100. The Brewers and the Cubs. Everybody else is in the 70s, 80s. It could just be a league-wide thing overall, but the Dodgers offense has not been good. Don't need stats to tell me that. Yeah. I may want to retract a statement I've made on this show before. I'm not sure that Shohei Ohtani is going to win every single MVP that he could during his time with the Dodgers. Kyle Schwarber is probably going to be the MVP this year, right?
if he continues to hit 2 homers a day, yeah.
Schwarber's going to hit 60 home runs in the National League this year, which I have no problem with. Kyle Schwarber's awesome.
Yeah.
Complete dog. So, I think that also too might be something to talk about. I know Ohtani still leads the league in homers and everything, but his approach at the plate hasn't been the best. Very, very un-Ohtani like. Which could go back to him having 2 jobs now.
Sure. Yeah.
But
he had the 4 strikeout game.
And everybody freaked out about that, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
As if you don't in baseball, you don't immediately go back the next night.
Yeah.
Get a chance to fix it.
Listen, he just needs some Pedialyte or something. All right.
Yeah.
He's cramping up. Like let's just loosen him up a bit and let him run loose. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at with Mookie. Is I'm fine with still running him out there because of the fact that, again, like they're still they took 4 of 6 on their road trip here in Cincinnati and Tampa Bay. Like, and that's I know that sounds like, oh, that's not impressive. Reds and Rays. The Reds were one of the hottest teams in baseball over the last month. Like they are a decent team. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rays are absolutely a decent team. So
I loathe doing the whole like, oh, who did you play like at this point in the season? It doesn't matter. You're playing who you're playing.
Yeah.
You want to do that game? Well, okay, the Padres lost 2 games to the Marlins and they split with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. And then they swept the Mets and they win a series against the Cardinals. But like, you just play who you play. That's all you can do.
Right. And despite this really rough month for the Dodgers, they are 3 games up on the division. Yeah. And that's with the Padres in second. The Giants are in third, 9.5 back. The Diamondbacks were selling at the deadline because they have fallen off. And that was a team that I said at the start of the season, I thought they were the biggest threat to the Dodgers in the NL West. Yeah. Because they have a lot of talent. They've just their pitching fell apart. Corbin Burns got hurt and has to get Tommy John again. Zach Gallen has not been as good, and now they've had to send off their parts. So, it's hard to. It is. The Dodgers are in a very fortunate position where they are playing their worst, and it really isn't.
Yeah, it hasn't hurt them at all yet.
And that's a great thing. Look, if this is the worst for the Dodgers, which it has to be, this team is too good to play like this for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. They are too talented for it to get any worse than what it's been. And so if this is in fact the worst for them in 2025,
I'll take it.
Yeah. They've kept their head above water, and that is huge. So hopefully now they use these last 2 months to ramp up for the postseason, and if they start to take off, like it's over for the rest of the league again. So they're still sitting in a great position. People are still considering them the biggest threats to win the title because they are. That's how talented they are. Yeah. All right. Well, let's close this out.
We gotta push this episode before. We may have to push this out tonight because Brock Stewart's about to blow this game.
Oh, boy.
Spoiler alert.
I just sung his praises.
I know.
Well,
I mean, Brock Stewart, why didn't you tell them not to hit the ball right where the defender wasn't?
Unbelievable.
Dummy.
All right. Well, shout out to Monty. Monty is at the Shakira concert tonight. She is not here. Hopefully, in the stadium. There was a lot of traffic getting in, so hopefully she gets to watch Shakira and not just sit on the streets of Inglewood. So
nobody wants to do that.
That's SoFi. It's a wild place. So we'll catch up with Monty next time. I will be at the game Tuesday night. Hopefully get another piece of Hello Kitty memorabilia. We'll see. Maybe we'll have a Hello Kitty popcorn bucket in the background. The next one.
Oh Jesus!
Good. I don't know. They've run out of their special food within minutes.
I hope that continues. I really do.
All right. So for Beau Betson, my name's Ryan Bershker. This is the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're coming at you all throughout the season. As always, thank you so much for checking us out. Really do appreciate it. Domo arigato, everyone. Thank you very much.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast, the Dodger Zone, on YouTube. Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.